Hello there, welcome back to my channel, The Wellbeing Guinea Pig, and I'm your host Jenny. Today's topic is about relationships and how to let go. We are always sort of trying to think about connections and how to expand emotionally and maybe keep other people in our life. But I think an important learning curve for me, and one that I've probably particularly struggled with, is actually when is the right time to let someone go. It's kind of one of these subjects where it's difficult, because I think fundamentally, really, as human beings, we never want to let people go. We want to feel that we're connected in all areas of our life, especially with other human beings, because we really do need to make these connections. However, there are times in our life, I'm sure that you can appreciate, that you've gone through and you really need to say goodbye to someone, at least for a while, until you can maybe reconnect and life takes you back in each other's directions. But it is fundamentally extremely important to be able to let that process just happen organically. So with everything else, with the other videos that I've done, I like to sort of give the backstory and then sort of bring you to here, and then talk about things that potentially could happen in the future. So for me, this subject of letting go has been extremely hard. I recognise that it comes from limiting beliefs, and I'm just in the process of uncovering those limited beliefs where it comes to hanging on to others. But I think growing up, with the friendship groups that I've had, and people I've connected with through school, I've had this notion that I always want to keep people close, and I think I'm quickly beginning to realise that this comes from a feeling of a anxiety-driven feeling, where letting go is looked at as a detrimental thing, allowing people to have their opinion of me, which differs to the way that I feel that I am. This has been a big sort of issue to me growing up, and I think we're all quite guilty of doing this, lesser or more of a degree. But it's always been a case of me that with my friends, I've always had a big social circle. I've always been able to maintain friendships, or should I say start friendships with the communication that I've had. I've found it quite easy to be able to strike up these friendships. However, when it comes to situations that happen when I should have let go, it's almost been that I've held on tighter. And the problem there is, if you hold on too tight to something, then you lose it anyway in the process of doing that. And I think I've really had to learn this the hard way, and even up to now. And the beautiful thing about what I'm learning and how I'm progressing is that I realise that it's never ending. There's always something that I'm going to be able to learn and grow from, and that is the real exciting part of this journey, this enlightenment journey that I'm on. But yeah, so especially I think it really, even when I've come to certain conclusions with letting go of friends in the past, it's been extremely difficult for me to let go of family. I feel like, I suppose, growing up with the family that I had, it was relatively a small family, but very, very tight knit. And I think somewhere along the line, I think because the adults that were involved in the, the family members, they were able to maintain the family. They'd obviously grown together emotionally, and I think the two big players were my uncle and my dad, who were big figures, political figures, and I think that they were the glue that stuck the family together. And I think to a certain degree that now that they're not here, it's really left up to the other family members to try and be that glue. But however, when people aren't that way inclined, or don't have those specific strengths, then I think that's when the dynamics change. And I feel like this has been the case for me. And of late, I've had to deal with letting go, and the process of understanding why the two close relationships, I won't name who they are in my family, but of late I've had to deal with my emotions, with understanding that because you're family, that's not an extension of who you are. I am very much a separate entity, and I don't know whether you can say unfortunately, it is what it is. Fortunately, unfortunately, you no matter what your views are, you cannot drag people along with you on your journey. And I think over the 7 years of losing my dad and then going through anxiety and depression twice, and all the therapies that I've done and all the conclusions that I've come to, I wrongly assumed that these family members understood and were on a similar journey to myself. And now what I see, now my eyes are extremely open now, and because I'm living consciously, so I'm very aware of my thought processes, and I can look at the way that other people are presenting themselves to me, that I can then judge it on a less emotional basis, if that makes sense. So it's almost like I use things now as the observer, looking in on my thoughts and the situations that I put myself in. And because I've changed my thought processes, and I've diminished a lot of these limiting beliefs, I actually see my relationships for what they are, and very much a personal relationship with someone very close to me. I understand what I was doing, and this was putting this person on my back, and the experiences that I have learned, I was dragging this person along with me, and with my mind set how it was, I think losing my dad, it really enforced that I would never want to go through that sort of pain again. So my eyes being open to certain things in our society and the way that we operate as a species, I passed on this information as it became known to me, to someone extremely close, and I misunderstood that as they were coming on that journey with me, and their eyes were open to these things like mine have been. And what I now understand is that that wasn't the case. And then I'm left with, and I think we're left with then the decision of, I'm on my own trajectory, this is my journey, my personal story. And instead of being, being like a little borrower sort of on the floor shouting, look at me, I'm here, can you see me? It's kind of seeing it for what it is and understanding that everyone has their own race to run. And as much as I was trying to hold on to the fact that these truths were revealed, and it's catapulted me into a wonderful existence, if I'm honest, and it continues to show me such wonder, you can only live the life that you live, and the way that things are presented to you, like I said. And if the people in your life can't see what you're about or what you're doing, and what the lessons are there that they could take away, if their mind is closed or blocked off because of limiting beliefs or whatever the story is, fear, and I think this is a massive thing for us at the moment. Whenever we make a decision out of fear, 9 times out of 10 it's always going to be the wrong one. When you look at a situation and it presents anxiety and you go with that anxiety, you are walking right into the fire. And so this is the way that I see now. So when anxieties come up to me, like I had this argument with my loved ones, who again will remain nameless, and initially my ego was, how could you not see what's real, what's there, what I've been talking about for years. I sort of my reaction was egotistical, like, how could you do this? What are you why are you walking into the fire? Don't you understand that you walk into fire and it'll burn you? And why are you not seeing the direction that I'm trying to take us in? Again, me sort of wrapping myself around my family or loved ones and saying, it's okay because I've got you. And what I've realised is, off the back of my ego doing that, I realised that that's not my right. I can't take someone on my journey and wrap them in cotton wool so they don't feel the flames. What it showed to me was that sit still, sit in that emotion, and what does that feel like? What does it feel like for you? What are you going to gain from this? You Jenny Mullins, the wellbeing guinea pig. What are you going to gain by letting your ego do that? And why they don't see you for the person that you are or the person you're trying to be? And then there was there's a lovely quiet stillness in my brain and body at the moment now, that I've changed from the person that I was. And instead of having these anxieties and this, what can I do to make this situation different? How can I make it better? How can I make them see? I just sort of breathed and I looked at my life, and is it really going to change me and where I'm going? And the answer is no. It allowed me to sit in a space of, I have no control over what other people decide. That is their life and that is their decision, and my decision is to move in the direction that I've been going. And so as soon as I sat there and realised that my ego was getting involved and it didn't need to be, it really freed me, because it allowed me to look at this situation and say, having these people in my life, is it going to benefit me, or is it going to be, am I going to be zapped of my energy because I'm trying to convince other people who I am and where I'm going? And it made me realise that I'm free to let those relationships go, no matter who they are, whether it's your sister, your auntie, your best friend, your mom, your brother, whatever it is. You have a choice with how they present themselves in your life, and you can say, is this the way I want to be treated? Is this the way I want to be loved? Because this is the way they love, this is their love, and do I want that love, or is that something that is zapping me and taking my energy away from where I really want to be? And where I really want to be is helping others, and the people that want to be helped through the knowledge that I've gained will actively look out for me. And so again, it comes back to you then, with the fact that making these videos, for example, and doing the life coaching course that I'm doing, that is my future. That is what gives me joy. Whether it's 5 people that look at my videos or 10,000 people that look at my videos, it really doesn't matter, because the main thing is that I'm doing what makes my heart sing, and that's a beautiful thing to realise. The fact that I know my calling, and the fact that I, just me personally, am so sure about who I am and where I'm going now, that it really doesn't matter to me what other people think about me. Initially it may get my ego up somewhat when you hear things that you don't want to hear. I think that's natural, and that's a response that again I will move forward with and work out, come to realisations. You know, as I said, the trajectory I am is to better myself and help people in the process. But the point I'm trying to make is that once you've found your calling and who you are, and you are sure of this is a gift that's been given to you, because this isn't to make me sound, it's not egotistical. It's not something that I'm saying because I'm so great and my voice is different to somebody else's and better. It's nothing to do with the ego, and I want to just make a little point that the ego isn't always a bad thing. I mean, we need an ego to survive. We need an ego to find our calling, because that really pushes us to get better, with me, to help others. Without a certain amount of ego, you can't make that happen. So it's not all bad when I talk about the ego. It is necessary for certain things. You just don't want the ego to take over. And because I realise that, eventually I want to be a public speaker. I want to speak out to help other people look at things differently, mentally, limiting beliefs, ego, whatever it is, to bring that person into their joy, their light, so then they can shine bright to show others. It's really such a wonderful thing, and for me has made the difference. It's night and day. The fact that now I know who I am and where I'm going, and if I'm totally honest with you, no relationship in my life, I mean, granted, my beautiful young children, their emotions, and you know, I'm trying to help them be the best little people they can be, and in the future be who they feel they are and what makes them shine. But even those relationships are just temporary. With my children, you know, they're mine until they get to a point where they can make their own decisions, and then I have to let that go, let them go, let them be who they want to be. And it's the same principle in all areas of my life now. I'm realising that I can't control what my husband does and his thoughts. You know, we can grow together and share moments of realisations together if he wants to come on that journey with me. But everyone is separate to you, and coming to that realisation that I have no control whether people understand or believe what I believe in. They have to do their own thing and learn from their own mistakes, and this is the cut-off for me. And so again, it will be, even though it's people that are close to me that I'm talking about, that I've had to just say, I can't be anything for these people now. It's zapping my energy. I've got to move on. I've got to. It's so freeing. It's so wonderful to just think that without any relationship in my life, I'm still whole, and it's amazing in the sense that then I will connect, and I know I will connect more and more with the people who want to be in my life, and those are going to be the connections that really matter going forward. So, and not massively long one today, but I hope you get the gist. I know that I sort of say things that are a little bit deep sometimes, but I hope you get the general gist of not controlling others, just being able to sit and think about yourself and allowing your energy to be really precious, you know, loving yourself. It all comes back to how you view your own person, you know. When you look in the mirror, I see it's not the physical, it's the sense of wholeness now. It's the sense of nobody else has got to accept me except me, you know, and knowing that I'm doing the best thing going forward because it's my calling, and ultimately to connect to those who want to go on their healing journeys as well. So I've really enjoyed talking to you again. You know, I love these videos. Please, any suggestions going forward, whatever you feel like is relevant at the moment, I would love to cover. Let me know your thoughts. Please like and subscribe and share if you can. And I will see you in the next video. You take care.